Cornell Law School is the law school of Cornell University, a private Ivy League university located in Ithaca, New York. It is one of the 5 Ivy League law schools and offers 3 law degree programs along with several dual degree programs in conjunction with other professional schools at the university. Established in 1887 as Cornell's Department of Law, the law school is ranked 13th in the United States by U.S.News and AMP World Report. Cornell Law School has the 3rd lowest faculty-to-student ratio of ABA-accredited law schools in the United States, with each class containing approximately 200 students. According to Cornell's ABA-required disclosures, 95.8% of 2014 graduates obtained full-time, long-term, JD-required employment 9 months after graduation, with a median private sector starting salary of $160,000. Cornell Law School is home to the Legal Information Institute, the Journal of Empirical Legal Studies, the Cornell Law Review, the Cornell Journal of Law and Public Policy, and the Cornell International Law Journal. The current dean of the law school is Eduardo Penalva, who assumed the role in 2014. History. The law department at Cornell opened in 1887 in Morrill Hall with Judge Douglas Boardman as its first dean. At the time, admission did not require even a high school diploma. In 1917, 2 years of undergraduate education were required for admission, and in 1924, it became a graduate degree program. The department was renamed the Cornell Law School in 1925. In 1890, George Washington Fields graduated, one of the first law school graduates of color in the United States. In 1893, Cornell had its first female graduate, Mary Kennedy Brown, future Governor, Secretary of State, and Chief Justice of the United States. Charles Evans Hughes was a professor of law at Cornell from 1891 to 1893, and after returning to legal practice he continued to teach at the law school as a special lecturer from 1893 to 1895. The law school's residence hall is named in honor of Hughes. In 1892, the school moved into Boardman Hall, which was constructed specifically for legal instruction. The school moved from Boardman Hall to its present-day location at Myron Taylor Hall in 1937. The law school building, an ornate, Gothic structure, was the result of a donation by Myron Charles Taylor, a former CEO of U.S. Steel, and a member of the Cornell Law class of 1894. Hughes Hall was built as an addition to Myron Taylor Hall and completed in 1963. It was also funded by a gift from Taylor, another addition to Myron Taylor Hall, the Jane M.G. Foster Wing, was completed in 1988 and added more space to the library. Foster was a member of the class of 1918, an editor of the Cornell Law Review, and an Order of the Coif graduate. In June 2012, the school embarked on a 3-year, multi-phase expansion and renovation. The first phase will create additional classroom space underground, adjacent to Myron Taylor Hall along College Avenue. The second phase will include the removal and digitization of printed materials from the library stacks so that the space can be converted to additional classroom and student space. The third phase involves converting Hughes Hall into office space. In 1948, Cornell Law School established a program of specialization in international affairs and also started awarding LL.B. degrees. In 1968, the school began to publish the Cornell International Law Journal. In 1991, the school established the Berger International Legal Studies program. In 1994, the school established a partnership with the University of Paris law faculty to establish a Paris-based summer institute of international and comparative law. From 1999 to 2004, the school hosted the Feminism and Legal Theory project. In 2006, the school established its second Summer Law Institute in Suzhou, China. The Clark Program in East Asian Law and Culture was established in 2002. Campus. Cornell Law is housed within Myron Taylor Hall, which contains the law library, classrooms, offices, a moot court room, Hughes dining facility, dormitory space for students of the law school, and the Cornell Legal Aid Clinic. Library. The law library contains 700,000 books and microforms and includes rare historical texts relevant to the legal history of the United States. The library is one of the 12 national depositories for print records of briefs filed with the United States Supreme Court. Also, there is a large collection of print copies of the records and briefs of the New York Court of Appeals. The large microfilm collection has sets of congressional, Supreme Court, and United Nations documents, as well as a large collection of World Law Reform Commission materials, microfiche records and briefs for the United States Supreme Court, the United States Court of Appeals from the Second Circuit and D.C. Circuit, and the New York State Court of Appeals are also collected. The library also has a large collection of international, foreign, and comparative law, with the main focus being on the Commonwealth of Nations and Europe. Along with this, there are also collections of public international law and international trade law. A new initiative by the library is to collect Chinese, Japanese, and Korean resources to support the law school's Clark program in East Asian law and culture. Rare books in the library include the Samuel Thorne Collection, which has 175 of some of the earliest and most rare books on law. Other significant collections include the Nathaniel C. Moak Library and the Edwin J. Marshall Collection of Early Works on Equity and the Earl J. Bennett Collection of Statutory Material, a print collection of original colonial, territorial, and state session laws and statutory codes. Among the library's special collections are 19th-century trials collection, Donovan Nuremberg Trials Collection, Scottsboro Collection, William P. and Adele Langston Rogers Collection, and the Chile Declassification Project. Admissions for the class entering in the fall of 2015, 1,192 out of 3,899 applicants were offered admission, with 203 matriculating. The 25th and 75th LSAT percentiles for the 2015 entering class were 164 and 168, respectively, with a median of 167. The 25th and 75th undergraduate GPA percentiles were 3.62 and 3.82, respectively, with a median of 3.74. In the UL.M program, which is designed for non-U.S. trained lawyers, 900 applications were received for the 50 to 60 openings. UL.M students come from over 30 different countries. Along with consideration of the quality of an applicant's academic record and LSAT scores, the full file review admissions process places a heavy emphasis on an applicant's personal statement, letters of recommendation, community, extracurricular involvement, and work experience. The application also invites a statement on diversity and a short note on why an applicant particularly wants to attend Cornell. The law school values applicants who have done the research and have particular interests or goals that would be served by attending the school, versus one of its peer institutions. Reputation. Rankings include 7th in the Law School 100 rankings, 25th in the world by the 2012 U.S. World University Rankings by subject, law, 13th in the 2015 U.S. News and World Report and its Master of Laws, or LM, program ranked first in the 2011, 2010, 2008 and 2006 UAP rankings. In 2011, the National Law Journal reported that Cornell Law graduates had the second highest percent placement at the top 250 law firms. Cornell Law ranks 17th in graduates attaining Supreme Court clerkships in recent years, tied with the University of Minnesota Law School. Academics. The advanced degrees in law, LM, and JSD, have been offered at Cornell since 1928. The JD Bar has 3 and 4-year tracks. The JD MALR program is 4 years. The JD MPA is 4 years, and JD MRP is 4 years. In addition, Cornell has joint program arrangements with universities abroad to prepare students for international licensure. Joint program with University of Paris. Joint program with Humboldt University of Berlin. Joint program with Institut d'études politiques de Paris. The JD Master Android lasts 4 years and prepares graduates for admission to the bar in the United States and in France. The JD M.L.P. is 3 years and conveys a mastery of German and European law and practices. The JD Master in Global Business Law lasts 3 years. Cornell Law School runs 2 summer institutes overseas, providing Cornell Law students with unique opportunities to engage in rigorous international legal studies. The Cornell University de Paris Summer Institute of International and Comparative Law at the Sorbonne in Paris, France offers a diverse curriculum in the historic Sorbonne and Centre Panthéon buildings at the heart of the University of Paris Panthéon Sorbonne. Coursework includes international human rights, comparative legal systems, and international commercial arbitration. French language classes are also offered. In 2006, Cornell Law School announced that it would launch a second summer law institute, the new workshop in international business transactions with Chinese characteristics in Suzhou, China. In partnership with Bu Sirius Law School and Kenneth Wang School of Law at Soochow University, Cornell Law provides students from the United States, Europe, and China with an academic forum in which they can collaborate on an international business problem. Employment. Cornell ranked second nationally on the American Bar Association's list of law schools with the highest bar passage required job placement. According to Cornell Law School's official ABA-required disclosures, 95.8% of the class of 2014 obtained full-time, long-term, JD-required employment 9 months after graduation. Cornell Law School's Law School Transparency Underemployment Score is 2.1%, indicating the percentage of the class of 2014 unemployed, pursuing an additional degree, or working in a non-professional, short-term, or part-time job 9 months after graduation. Costs. The total cost of attendance at Cornell Law School for the 2014-2015 academic year is $79,429. The law school transparency estimated debt-financed cost of attendance for 3 years is $297,190. Initiatives. Legal Information Institute. Cornell Law also is home to the Legal Information Institute, an online provider of public legal information. Started in 1992, it was the first law site developed for the Internet. The LII offers all opinions of the United States Supreme Court handed down since 1990, together with over 600 earlier decisions selected for the historic importance. The LII also publishes over a decade of opinions of the New York Court of Appeals, the full United States Code, the UCC, and the Code of Federal Regulations, among other resources. It recently created WEX, a free wiki legal dictionary and encyclopedia, collaboratively created by legal experts, and the LII Supreme Court Bulletin is a free email and web-based publication that intends to serve subscribers with thorough, yet understandable, legal analysis of upcoming court cases as well as timely email notification of court decisions. Publications. The school has 3 law journals that are student-edited: the Cornell Law Review, the Cornell International Law Journal, and the Cornell Journal of Law and Public Policy. Additionally, the Journal of Empirical Legal Studies is a peer-reviewed journal that is published by Cornell Law faculty. Moot court. Cornell Law students actively participate in myriad moot court competitions annually, both in the law school itself and in external and international competitions. The Langfan first-year moot court competition, which takes place every spring, traditionally draws a large majority of the first-year class. Other internal competitions include the Kuchar Cup and the Rossi Cup. People. Faculty: Cynthia Grant Bowman, Gender Equality, Women's Rights, Feminist Jurisprudence; Michael C. Dorff, Constitutional Law; Andre Marma, Legal, Political, Moral, and Linguistic Philosophy; Eduardo Penalva, Property and Land Use; Annalise Riles, Comparative Law, International Law, Legal Anthropology; Linz Out, Corporate Law, Securities Regulation, Law and Economics; Robert S. Summers, Contract and Commercial Law; Alumni Political: John G. Alexander, United States Representative for Minnesota's 3rd Congressional District; Rob Andrews, United States Representative for New Jersey's 1st Congressional District; Mark J. Bennett, served as Attorney General of Hawaii; Arnold Burns, served as United States Deputy Attorney General; Thomas Carmody, served as Attorney General of New York; Catherine Clark, United States Representative for Massachusetts's 5th Congressional District; Barbara Conable, United States Representative for New York's 30th Congressional District; President of the World Bank; Carlos Mendoza Davis, Governor of Baja California Sur State in Mexico; Arthur Hobson Dean, diplomat, chief U.S. negotiator of the Korean Armistice Agreement, which ended the Korean War, drafter of the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, and delegate to the United Nations; Anna Doladze, Georgian Deputy Minister of Defense, nominated for a position on the Supreme Court of Georgia; Juan Carlos Esguerra, a former ambassador of Colombia to the United States, former Colombian Minister of Justice and Law; William Vanden Heuvel, diplomat, businessman, and author; Philip H. Hoff, served as Governor of Vermont; Frank Horton, United States Representative for New York's 36th Congressional District, 34th District, and 29th District; Tsai Ing-wen, first woman elected President of Taiwan; Charles Samuel Jolson, United States Representative for New Jersey's 8th Congressional District; Francis Keller, advisor to Theodore Roosevelt and the Progressive Party, early scholar of urban poverty, unemployment and crime, and advocate for education and immigration reform; Norman F. Lent, United States Representative for New York's 4th Congressional District; John T. Morrison, served as Governor of Idaho; Edmund Muskie, served as Governor of Maine, as a U.S. Senator and as U.S. Secretary of State; Edward R. O'Malley served as Attorney General of New York. Edward Worthington Patterson, United States Representative for New York's 29th Congressional District. Peter N. Peretti, Jr., served as Attorney General of New Jersey. Philip J. Perry, former General Counsel of the United States Department of Homeland Security and former General Counsel for the Office of Management and Budget. Samuel Pierce served as U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. John Raymond Pillion, United States Representative for New York's 42nd Congressional District. Alexander Perney, United States Representative for New York's 34th Congressional District and 32nd District. Perney was awarded the Legion of Merit and Bronze Star Medal for service in Europe during World War II. Michael Punker, United States Ambassador to the World Trade Organization. Howard W. Robison, United States Representative for New York's 39th Congressional District. William P. Rogers served as U.S. Attorney General and as U.S. Secretary of State. Rogers received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1973. William Sorrell, Vermont Attorney General. Henry P. Smith, United States Representative for New York's 40th Congressional District. Michael E. Toner, a former chair of the Federal Election Commission and chief counsel for the Republican National Committee. Martin Traviso served as provisional governor of Puerto Rico, a member of the First Senate of Puerto Rico, mayor of San Juan, and associate and chief justice of the Supreme Court of Puerto Rico. Federal Judiciary. Simon L. Adler, United States District Court for the Western District of New York. Mary Donlan Alger, first woman editor-in-chief of a U.S. Law Review and judge of the United States Customs Court. Frederick Block, United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York. Robert Bucheva, United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Leonie Brinkema, United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia. Brian Cogan, United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York. Paul A. Crotty, United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Philip S. Figure, United States District Court for the District of Colorado. Peter W. Hall, United States Court of Appeals from the Second Circuit. Frederick Bernard Lacey, United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. Allison J. Nathan, United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Pamela Pepper, United States District Court for the Eastern District of Wisconsin. Stephen C. Robinson, United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Shira Scheindlin, United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Gary L. Sharp, United States District Court for the Northern District of New York, Chief Judge of the Northern District of New York from 2011-present. Amy J. St. Eve, United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. Roger Gordon Strand, United States District Court for the District of Arizona. Joseph L. Tauro, United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts, Chief Judge of the District of Massachusetts from 1992 to 1999. Albert Partuttle, one of the Fifth Circuit for United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, and Chief Judge of the Fifth Circuit from 1960 to 1967. Tuttle received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1981 and the Courthouse for the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit is named in his honor. Richard C. Wesley, United States Court of Appeals from the Second Circuit. Thomas Samuel Zilli, United States District Court for the Western District of Washington. State Judiciary. Barry T. Alban, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of New Jersey. Victor Ashrafi, Judge of the New Jersey Superior Court, Appellate Division. Ariel E. Bellin, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 2nd Department. Robert Bucheva, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Alaska, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Alaska from 1975 to 1978. Patricia L. Cohen, Judge of the Missouri Court of Appeals. Stephen G. Crane, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 2nd Department. Roland L. Davis, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 4th Department, 3rd Department, and 2nd Department. Thomas A. Dickerson, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 2nd Department. Ellen Gorman, Associate Justice of the Maine Supreme Judicial Court. Robert M. Gross, Judge of the Florida 4th District Court of Appeal, Chief Judge of the 4th District Court of Appeal from 2008 to 2011. Erica L. Hadlock, Judge of the Oregon Court of Appeals. Stuart F. Hancock, Jr., Associate Judge of the New York Court of Appeals. Irving G. Hubbs, Associate Judge of the New York Court of Appeals. Anthony T. Kane, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 3rd Department. Edward C. LaRose, Judge of the Florida 2nd District Court of Appeal. Ann M. Patterson, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of New Jersey. Cuthbert W. Pound, Associate Judge of the New York Court of Appeals, Chief Judge of the New York Court of Appeals from 1932 to 1934. Philip Raposa, Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Appeals Court, Associate Justice of the Massachusetts Appeals Court. Roberto A. Rivera Soto, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of New Jersey. Harry L. Taylor, Associate Justice of the New York Supreme Court, Appellate Division, 4th Department. Douglas L. Tukey, Judge of the Oregon Court of Appeals. Joseph Weintraub, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of New Jersey, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of New Jersey. Richard C. Wesley, Associate Judge of the New York Court of Appeals. International Judiciary. Sang-Hyun Song, Judge of the International Criminal Court, President of the International Criminal Court from 2009 to 2015. Law and Business. Leo V. Berger, founder of Apex Marine Corporation. Milton S. Gould, founding partner of Shane Amp Gould. The Milton Gould Award for Outstanding Advocacy is named in his honor. Francis Keller, founding member of the American Arbitration Association and expert in international arbitration. Ron Kuby, criminal and civil rights lawyer, counsel on cases such as Texas v. Johnson. Samuel Leibowitz, criminal and civil rights lawyer, represented the Scottsboro Boys and argued Norris v. Alabama. The Samuel Leibowitz Professorship was endowed in his honor. Sol Linowitz, chairman of Xerox. Linowitz received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1998. Shannon Minter, civil rights attorney. Marshall Phelps, a former corporate director of intellectual property licensing and patents at IBM and Microsoft. Frank Rosenfeld, former CEO of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studio and recipient of the Purple Heart for injuries sustained at the Battle of the Bulge. Thomas A. Russo, general counsel at American International Group. Jan Schlichtman, toxic tort plaintiff's attorney and subject of the book and film, A Civil Action. Harry L. Taylor provided the legal advice that elevated the American League to Major League status as a rival to the National League. Taylor financed his legal education by playing professional baseball with the Louisville Colonels. Myron Charles Taylor, CEO of U.S. Steel. Robert D. Ziff, a former co-CEO of Ziff Brothers Investments. Miscellaneous. George Bell, Jr., United States Army Major General who commanded the 33rd Infantry Division in World War I and later the United States Sixth Corps. Bell was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal, the French Croix de Guerre with Palm and the Legion of Honor, as well as appointment as a Knight Commander of Britain's Order of St. Michael and St. George. Edward J. Blaustein, former president of Rutgers University. Bob Dupuy, former president of Major League Baseball. Charles Garside, former president of the State University of New York. Harold O. Levy, executive director of the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation and former chancellor of New York City Schools. Bajrakiti Mahidol, Princess of Thailand. Ari Melba, journalist and host of the MSNBC show The Cycle. Michael Punker, author of The Revenant, a novel of revenge, which was the basis for the film The Revenant. Glenn Scobie Warner, legendary football coach and innovator. Fictional Irene Menende Hastings, in The Secret in Their Eyes, received her law degree from Cornell. Norman Mushari, according to God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, graduated at the top of his class. Ling Wu on Ally McBeal was an editor of the Cornell Law Review.